Hey everybody, it's Amy from Maestro and Mighty, and today I wanted to walk through my work out loud for the MC Challenge number 2. This is my submission, although I do want to preface that this is not going to be added into the judging or anything. I just wanted to put together a fun example of how I would take a course, very basic black and white course, and make it a little more on brand. And so I decided to go with more of that futuristic techie look here. So you'll see throughout the course, I use a lot of big, bold typography with like this condensed look to it. I also use like an extended font as well. And then color palette wise, there's a lot of dark with like these really bright pops of colors. So to start us off, I always turn off the title page or the cover page when I'm doing just one lesson. Just why click into it if you don't need to? I also turned off my navigation lesson headers. So when you come right in, you have this really cool intro. What is fishing? This really large heading up here with a nice image. And then scrolling down, I did an image in text with a mighty gradient behind it, where I took that gradient off and made it a hard line just to show some really cool overlapping. And then I have my text here just sitting at the bottom, so you can change that in your settings. I have a couple of mighty transitions. So this is like your standard transition that you would see. And this is taking a typical line transition in mighty and just making it have like a little bit of separation from the content above. This section, I decided to use a process, and I actually removed a lot of like the title and the step numbers, as you can see, as well as the numbers down below. And then I went in using the Mighty Rich Text Editor to come in and make this look extra special. So it's not a lot of information, but it's enough to be able to style it and be able to start again if you want to. All right, so red flags to watch for. This was inspired by this really cool inspiration video that Kendra put out that I loved it. And so it was just kind of thinking through the mighty image comparison a little bit differently. I think I've always done just like an image kind of floating in the middle and doing like a typical side by side. But what I like about this is it kind of just shows you different areas within this that it points to that maybe are red flags to look out for, as well as another example. So that way you have two examples and you can kind of have your learner float through each one. Okay, so this was my first little vibe coding execution of this lesson, where I wanted you to do like above, you kind of learn about trusting your gut. So this is really a gut check. And the idea here is you're supposed to look at some of these things that we just learned and say if it's suspicious or not. So that one is suspicious. This one is safe. Suspicious. All right, and then you get a little bit of feedback. Here is just an autoplay video to add a little bit of movement in the course, again with that gradient overlap behind it. This is another vibe coding experience where you see an email and it's more of a choose your own path. So rather than giving you exactly the right or wrong, like technically I could kind of like, if I want to ignore this email, I read it and I ignore it, I could, have the risk remain open. So I could try another path. It's just a way to kind of like see where your learners are going or what path they might take. All right, I gotta move this little bar that you can't see here. Okay, continue. Again, image and text block modifications using Mighty to have this image kind of like bleeding off of the edge. I love that overlap look here, as well as some nice typography mixed in. And then at the very bottom, I have just like a little bit of an animated GIF and kind of the last ending of it. And then I also have a power up at the very end that basically removes that white space at the bottom. So not necessary, but I don't understand why it always has added in that big chunk at the bottom. So this is a little bit of my work out loud and the way that I did things. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it's a little bit inspiring and you enjoy it.